And g'day, this is the 5-minute podcast review for Tuesday, October 30, 2018. It's the day before Halloween and plenty of podcasts are putting out Halloween-themed episodes this week. But the first podcast I've got kind of celebrates Halloween all year round. It's called The Adventures of Memento Mori, and it bills itself as a guide for learning to live by remembering to die. So the term Memento Mori is Latin and literally means remember death. It's basically a philosophical concept along the lines that knowing you're going to die or remembering you're going to die focuses you on what's actually important about life. Okay, so what does that all mean in terms of what you'll get with this podcast? Well, it's varied. The podcast creator Devon Moss, or DS Moss as he usually goes by, uses each episode to explore a different death-related subject, ranging from the practical and scientific, like what happens to our digital identities after we die, or the science of immortality, through to the philosophical, spiritual, and the mystic. Occasionally there are what you might call mini-series, a couple of episodes devoted to a theme, such as the compelling two-parter called Thoughts in Passing, which is a series of interviews with a range of diverse people who all have at least one big thing in common. They've all been told they have 6 months or less to live. More recently was the September 24 episode called The Act of Dying. Here's how the host DS Moss sets it up.
In her most recent book, Advice for Future Corpses and Those Who Love Them, Sally Tisdale provides a directive for how to prepare for death, to include what to expect in those final moments of life. And so I've asked her to sit with me bedside and guide me through the process of my own total body failure. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? Is it peaceful or is it painful and full of fear? If you've ever been curious about what happens in the moment of passing, then please join me on my deathbed as I transition to the other side.
Well, that's the intro to The Act of Dying, and I guess it's no spoiler to say that he dies in the end. The Act of Dying is just one of the 17 episodes up so far of The Adventures of Memento Mori. And now for something completely different, a podcast that claims to be the world's first reality podcast. It's called The Brights. And the Brights are a family from Essex in the UK. Daughter Lydia Bright is already well established as a reality TV personality in the UK, and this seems to have been the catalyst for bringing her family, mum, dad, 2 sisters and a brother into the idea of a reality podcast. Let's have a listen to Lydia Bright introducing the concept.
The Brights is a brand new podcast that takes you inside my family home where there's never a dull moment. And it's not all about me. There's my mum, Debbie.
I think when she meets the right one, she'll be Netflix and chill.
You know what that means, don't you?
Well, obviously, darling.
Oh, you disgusting creature. My dad, Dave.
You do realise, though, because I'll get all fit and muscly and I'll be like a Greek, I might leave you then.
Oh, please.
My big sister, Georgia.
If there's 3 billion men on the planet, if one man don't like me, plenty more fish in the sea, I'll go to the next one.
My little sister, Roma.
Yeah, but that's just my style. Like, your style is like grandma vintage.
Oh, cheers. And not forgetting my beloved brother, Freddie.
I've got 3 sisters and 1 mum, and I think that's enough women for me for a while.
Together, we have a right laugh. But there's also some tears. And we're going to find it tough. Get really upset. 1 or 2 rows.
I've asked you once. If I have to ask you again, I'm going to unplug the Wi-Fi box.
Well, no, you ain't. Get out of the way.
And a lot of love.
Okay, well, I probably should have issued a warning about the accents if your ears aren't used to the Essex accent. And it's a bit of a stretch to believe the family were just mic'd up and the episodes all fell out. Just like reality television, there's clearly a fair bit of production and story engineering going on behind the scenes, so the end product is as much packaged entertainment as it is, quote, reality. Or to put it another way, it's the reality you get when a semi-celebrity family does reality. Think of how the Osbournes from a few years ago was packaged. Or probably a more recent and relevant comparison might be to think that the Brights are trying out to be the UK version of the Kardashians. Episodes are dropping weekly on Thursdays, with the first 2 up now, so if you want to check out a new concept in podcasting, check out The Brights and see what you think. So there you go, 2 more podcasts to check out: The Adventures of Memento Mori, just in time for Halloween, and The Brights. You can find both wherever you get your podcasts, or even easier, just use the links I've put on your screen. Catch you in the next episode. Thanks for listening.